Oh, fuck. Are you okay, mate?
I'm fine. That was bound
must
to
have
happen.
hurt so much. No. At least you got that on camera. It'd be good content. You're right, man.
Oh, I'm fine, man.
Oh, shit.
What do you think about most in the day that isn't music?
That's such an interesting question. Probably food. What I'm gonna eat next. Right now on tour, it's probably TMI, but like, where am I gonna go to the bathroom? Because on the bus, you can't really go, so that's probably it. But normal stuff. Just when's my next meal?
Are you quite a big cook?
Hell no, I'm terrible at cooking. I'm a terrible cook, but I love eating, so yeah.
You've done this thing on this tour that I really like where you have it's like the kind of heart-shaped sticky notes at the start of every show. 100 of them, you give them out and people write what's on their mind, kind of heart on their sleeve, right?
Yeah.
If you were to do one of them for Simple, what would it say? Yeah.
For the song Simple?
Yeah. And kind of what you were trying to express in that song, how would you sum that up on a heart on your sleeve?
Probably say I'm sorry. I don't know, that song it was kind of like a build-up of like a year and a half of me basically not being able to handle, not being able to experience everything that normally comes along with having like a big break. And I just turned into a person I didn't really love. So, yeah, it was kind of like, I'm sorry for being a dickhead, but I promise I'll do better. So, yeah. Maybe just I'm sorry.
It's a really interesting side of yourself to tackle in a song, a side of yourself that maybe, like you're saying, you weren't happy with who you were at that point in your life. What does approaching that in music do for you in terms of personal development and how you try and bring closure to that experience and who you were at that period in your life?
I mean, it definitely helps me kind of sort through my feelings. I remember when I got to like the studio, I was in a pretty bad headspace and I was really mad, and then it was kind of a conversation with my producer Ryan, and I kind of realized that really I was the issue and that I needed to change the way that I was approaching my relationship, and so it definitely helped me sort it out and like have more love for the people around me who do love and support me even when I'm like really struggling. But I don't know, I tend to write a lot about where I'm at mentally, and you mentioned the stickers, like my whole thing is really just being open and wearing my heart on my sleeve, and I don't think about it. I don't like approach a song and I'm like, I'm gonna bear this part of me. It's just like who I am as a person.
Have you always been able to do that? Just be so open in that way?
Yeah, kind of. It's weird though, because I don't cry.
Like I don't cry either.
Like I haven't cried in like 15 years or something, which is nuts. My wife has never seen me cry, which is crazy. But yeah, I've always been able to like unconditionally love and be very open with my feelings. It has kind of led me to getting hurt because I trust easily, and well, I'm very loyal. And my trust is important. So when I give trust, if it's broken, it's really hard to get that back. So I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but like, yeah, it's kind of just always been who I am.
With what you're saying about how you don't cry, for a lot of people, that is when they get the greatest sense of emotional release in their life.
Yeah.
Where does that come for you if you don't get it through crying?
Singing, being on stage, being able to like be the best version of myself on stage. I think that's the coolest part, is I feel pretty invincible on stage. And not getting to feel that for the last year and a half, but having success has been so strange, and not getting to like meet the people that have like put me in the position that I'm in, and not getting to be the person that everyone kind of thinks I am. Yeah, probably just singing and writing. But I am excited to one day cry. My therapist is like very keen to like have that breakthrough for me. So we'll see.
You mentioned that phrase you mentioned there, the person that people think you are. That's a really interesting idea. How does that factor into the way that you see yourself in your music? Do you ever try and think about how your music would come across to someone else in terms of the way that you're conveying yourself in any way? Or?
I never do. This is the thing, like when I write, I'm writing for myself. Once I put the song out, it's everyone else's. And it's whatever, the public wants to take the song as. I'm not like, with my writing, I'm not as like pinpoint specific as some other songwriters. And I think, I don't know, it's just the way I write, but like the power in that is anyone who listens can put themselves in the story and apply this, their own situation to the song. Even if, like, for example, like This City was written about me just being treated really poorly by people in LA and really struggling to like see myself and who I was and thinking that I was like done. And the world kind of said to me that it was more about like hope and like drive and not giving up, and I definitely didn't see that when I wrote it. So that has been cool. It's cool, like just like reimagining the song. It gives it new meaning for me. It's always special. Yeah.
I think Simple's another example of that, like what you're also saying with This City, about how your songs are always very deeply personal, and yet at the same time they are able to universally translate and they are able to be interpreted by everyone, and they have that simplicity at the heart of them too. How do you see that balance in your music, and how does that balance shift throughout the process of creating a song? The balance between it being universal and also being deeply personal.
Yeah. I think just by not giving those like really specific details, and I love that in songwriting. Like I think Ed Sheeran's amazing at it. JP Saxe is amazing at it. I honestly just don't like think of it when I'm writing. I'm like, how do I say this? So I say it in a way that might feel general, even though I'm talking about a specific situation or moment. I don't know. Songwriting's a really strange thing. Like I think it's kind of like I think you can be taught to write a song in like song structure and stuff, but when you're actually like stringing words together and in a way that has to be like universally accepted, but also like poetic and like personal and whatever, it's just like it's like a own, I don't know, it's like a weird part of the brain that not everyone gets to access. But I don't know, being universal is just kind of what you have to do to connect with people, because I think songwriters are really dense people. Dense is not probably the right word, but like really, we overthink everything. I don't think most of the world overthinks everything.
Does expressing that side to it though in your creativity and in your songwriting help to rectify in other aspects of your life at all?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like with Simple, it really gave me a lot of clarity on my own actions, and because there was a time when I was like, why is the world doing this to me? And that was a bullshit feeling to feel, because like the world wasn't like, a pandemic wasn't like because I was having success. And so I just turned into like I was just like just a shitty person. And that writing Simple kind of made me like, I don't know, just it gave me a bit of insight into myself. And yeah, Ryan Marone, the guy I wrote it with, he's kind of like my therapist, in that he's very, very insightful and can take, like he'll just listen to me just go on and on and on and on about a situation and just give me a new perspective. And it's always nice to write together because he puts me in my place a little, tumbling.
Do you ever see parallels in the conversations that you have with producers that you're working with, or the writers that you're working with, and the conversations that you have with your therapist?
Totally, 100%. Every songwriting session starts with like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour just conversation, just talking about everything and anything, like what someone had for breakfast, why it wasn't good. Maybe it was like they received a text message in the middle of a meal and they're like, well, fuck, I hate these eggs now. You know what I mean? So it kind of, you get really close really quickly, and the studio is a really sacred place. Like what it's kind of like what happens in the studio stays in the studio, other than putting it in the song and then putting it out to the world. But like the conversations you have, I don't know, it's a crazy, weird, cool, amazing, beautiful thing to be able to like take someone's like, I don't know, sadness or happiness or trauma or memory and turn it into like a feeling in a song that can resonate with the world. It's weird.
That seems like that seems like a lovely note to wrap up on, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it.
That was sick. Thank you.